So they hit the breaking news sounder, and the May signing comes down, and the most influential person in Boston, sports person in Boston, who is this guy? Ask the question. Felger asked the question like I did. Who the hell? But I actually did remember him from the Dodgers series.
Yep.
Because I saw the name May, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, is this one of Mark May's kids? Is this Drake? See, a brother of Drake? They all played professional sports or college sports at one time. I said, oh, it's a May brother. No, but so you signed a pitcher. That team right there, the Dodgers, they're the number one team that is the contender for the World Series, right?
Yes, they are competing for the World Series.
They don't have the best record, I don't think, right now. But
do contending teams like the teams the team that is the favorite? Like I remember the big Patriot days back when we were 14-2, 15-1, 12-4. We usually didn't trade top talent away those years.
Jamie Collins
kind of wanted to hang on to those guys, because they were good. So you got a guy from the Dodgers that you actually rocked that one weekend. I think they tagged it for 4 or 5 runs, and that's the big signing.
They also have an entire rotation on the IL right now. Blake Snell, Tony Gonsolin, Roki Sasaki, River Ryan, and Gavin Stone. So we are talking like this is their 11th starting pitcher on their team.
And you hit their big stud. Like you beat him, when he was here in Boston. So you got their 6th best pitcher?
Technically right
7th?
now. And it's the same thing you did a year ago.
Yeah.
You went and got James Paxton when they were done with him. And you said, all right, we'll take the scraps and hopefully get him back on track. That's what you're doing with Dustin May. I just don't know how you sit here with Dustin May and you're feeling anything. You gave up your 10th and 30th prospect. Charlie Morton has had a sub-4 ERA since May 1st. They got a guy outside of the top 30 from the Tigers. So did you just panic and make that move? That's what it feels like.
Patriots got crushed for quote-unquote being in on Ridley. We were close. We were there, man. But, he chose that other place because he didn't want to come here and that. And they got smoked for that. They better get their ass kicked today for this. To be fair, right? We were close. I don't want to hear anything about we were close or, boy, we uncomfortably extended ourselves. We're so comfortable. We were all in. You weren't all in.
Teams had to tell them to stop, Zoe.
What?
Teams had to tell them to stop.
Don't embarrass yourself.
I've ever seen in my life.
You're giving us too much.
There was so much in that press conference that we can go over.
Stop it. We don't want Roman Anthony and Durant in a package deal for a 6th guy. No, we don't. You're embarrassing yourself. Where are we today? Like this, here we go again. This is 3 in a row, right? 3 trade deadlines in a row. I hope Cora had a good time at his birthday party he said he went to yesterday. Because if I was him, I'd want to be far away from that place, too.
I'll tell you what. I'm glad you brought that up.
Think they have marble cake?
Because a nice marble? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I'm watching the ESPN trade deadline special last night. And Jeff Passan is on there breaking it down.
Yeah.
And he says that people inside the organization expected the Red Sox to do more. Who do you think is inside the organization that expected the Red Sox to do more?
Well, it's probably going to be Sam Kennedy because he's going to have to get on air. And boy, we were I'm just telling you guys, man, we were all in, and we were on the phone with Tom, and he made a call, and we found John on his boat. But they're putting in a lot of money in that Liverpool team. I think they're going after like the biggest player over in Europe or something.
So my guess is the manager in the organization.
Yeah, my guess is it's the guy that just had the second piece of marble cake, and it's Alex Cora.
He made a joke of it the day before. Said, I'm going to be at a birthday party, so I'm not even like he knew. He knew the day before they weren't going to do anything. Cora's pretty good at letting his feelings be known.
I think Alex Cora expected the team to do more. I think we've seen, and we've gone over this over the last couple of weeks, the way that we have these second half absolute collapses under Alex Cora in post-deadline over the last few years.
Good thing it pushed Crochet back, right? Because everybody thought, ooh, that's a spot for a potential guy they're bringing in. We laughed at that.
We got to manage that. I can't wait to hear from Alex Cora because I think, again, he's going to be frustrated. And I think the lack of communication, again, we're going through this again. The fact that your manager and your CBO aren't on the same page.
Don Darren, you're going to throw your papers up again?
You
going to throw your papers up again?
I was ready for this. I didn't fall for this.
Everybody was ready for this.
When they won 10 in a row and I'm in, I'm buying in, I feel it. No. I was going to wait to see how they did after the All-Star break, and I was going to wait for the behavior at the trade deadline. Doesn't matter because this is 0 for 2. And
how about the tweets yesterday that were coming out?
The tweets?
About Ryan, about them getting Ryan.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, the deadline had everything except
And
the
then
Red
they
Sox
deleted.
actually making an impact move, like fake tweets going up, even though they were real tweets, for sure. I just think, man, I keep coming back to it. Craig Breslow not being able to communicate again. Alex Cora not being on the same page. Guess what? A good organization is on the same page. I think that tells you everything you need to know about the organization right now. Your ownership doesn't care. There isn't a sense of urgency. Your CBO can't communicate with your manager or other teams, apparently, because they clearly weren't on the same page with the Twins and going after Joe Ryan. And your manager now is going to pout for the second half of the year because you didn't invest in the team again.
Think about when they asked Cora recently about what's gone wrong in the second half. How are you going to make adjustments? What are you going to do differently? He blamed it on the CBO situation those years. Just saying, honestly, we didn't get better. We stayed the same, and other teams got better. What is that here? All the teams around you got so much better in the Mariners, the Yankees, the Rangers. Those three teams are the three teams closest to you in the standings right now. All of them are amongst the winners for the trade deadline. You're in every loser column today.
And they have worse record. A lot of those teams have a worse record than the Red Sox. And they're still aggressive trying to win. That's the worst part. And we knew this. They don't want to win. They're not trying to win.
Dundero.
What?
Breslow got uncomfortably aggressive. You didn't hear him? You didn't hear that in the press conference? Uncomfortably aggressive.
Everything about him just drives me. Even the little acronym CBO drives me crazy. I don't know why.
It's such a turnoff. It really is. It's time to pivot. Like they're reaching a pivot point. Sports in Boston and in New England is reaching a pivot point.
But so they had such an opportunity at the deadline. Like, you're overachieving. Somehow, miraculously here, you traded your highest paid player in Rafael Devers. Things stayed on the tracks. You had a fan base that's engaged, a baseball team that's playing really well. What an opportunity at the deadline there to actually grab some more fans and have some people invested in the operation. And instead, you sit on the sidelines where everybody else, like you just mentioned, and Daryl, people that you are competing with for a playoff spot, even though right now you are in the playoffs, as of now, 60% chance according to Fangraphs for Milliken, and you sit on the sidelines and pull off Dustin May and Steven Matz as your big moves?
Yuck.
Embarrassing.
They don't care. It's not the priority. They're not trying to win. They're following the model, the algorithm. That's what they want to do. They have no desire to win at the highest level. They follow whatever principles they establish. I don't know when this conversation took place. Maybe it took place when they fired Dave Dombrowski. Maybe that was it. They got out of the winning business and they went back. They don't want to win. We talk about them. I know we have to talk. It's the Boston Red Sox.
You're getting to the point where they can be just being
why do people go? I know it's in a little event and they like the ballpark and all this. They're not trying to win. They are an exhibit. They're up there.
It's a good name.
Something that they used to be, and it's just guys in costumes pretending to be the Red Sox. They're an exhibit now. They're not trying to win anymore. It's a baseball team that goes through the motions, does some things here and there to make it look like the way it used to be, but they don't actually try to win like they used to when they tried to win World Series. That's over.
You mentioned the CBO. How about the line of, you know what, the other teams don't value our players? Who says that? Who says that? Like, seriously. We like our team the way it is, the way it's constructed. We're going to roll with the guys we have. But, we were overly aggressive. But it takes two to tango. Two to tango. Other teams don't value our players.
Sorry, Zoe. How many times are we going to hear at a press conference Craig Breslow say something, I'm paraphrasing, I understand the fans' frustration. I understand the fans.
That's the Sam Kennedy line.
We've heard it.
That's Kennedy's line. You can't steal it from him.
Okay, fine. We've heard it on four different occasions.
We hear you out there.
I know. Okay. Thanks.
Disappointing stuff. 617-779-0985. Absolutely.
Is it really?
Yes. So,
Tyler, you disappointed or did you kind of expect this? Like, you're the baseball player.
No, I'm disappointed without a doubt. I'm not shocked that it played out this way, but you get tunnel vision for Joe Ryan and you're unable to discuss any other deals or handle anything else. You didn't even get a bat. You talked about wanting a bat.
Beatles said they were going to get a bat. I said they were going to try and get, bullpen help.
Go find. You can't find anything at first base. Ryan O'Hearn went to the Padres. They made about 5 trades yesterday.
And don't sit here and tell me and breaking it down like this guy's got a live arm and it's going to help you in October. And I'm like, well, who the hell's playing in October?
He's also already doubled his innings total from any other year in his career. Has had 2 Tommy Johns and is consistently hurt. So great. Is he going to just pull a Paxton, 1 start, and you lose him?
You're already pushing back your starter.
How much does that
because
make
you're
you feel
overloading
good?
him? How's your closer? How's his back spasms?
I think he's going to be fine. But
Okay,
this
I
is
hope
the
so.
issue with Crochet. It's going into uncharted territory. Lucas Giolito had elbow surgery, going into territory he hasn't been in years. Garrett Whitlock, elbow operated last
Crossing
year.
your fingers on
Who
that.
do you feel good about starting a playoff game right now besides Brian Bayo and Garrett Crochet? And even those guys,
Crochet,
Bayo's
I'd
never
say.
been there, and neither has Crochet. And there's
but I
workload
trust Crochet.
concerns.
I don't trust Bale yet.
But will he have enough in the tank at that point? That's a real question.
So that was Rosenthal saying it was a feeble attempt. Milliken, your guy, Carabas, saying that he was told there was an 85% chance that that deal was going to get done. So you have people out of Minnesota saying that the deal for Joe Ryan, there was a feeble attempt made by the Boston Red Sox. Chris Cotillo doubling down on that, saying his sources in Minnesota say the same thing.
Well, how are you overly aggressive if you're only at 85%?
I think that shows that the Red Sox tunnel vision thought they had a deal that was going to get done. I think that's why you saw Dustin May completed as late as it was 10 minutes before the deadline.
Is that a panic move?
But I
man?
think looking at where the Twins were, first off, once you didn't have one of your major league outfielders going over there, they were like, all right, so you're just offering us a prospect package. And the Red Sox have 6 top 100 guys right now. I'll tell you, and Jen McCaffrey had it this morning, Justin Garcia, the password that everyone talks about, back 100 guy, teams aren't moved by him. He's going to be a platoon hitter in the big league level. He's a fine regular. He's not something that you look at as a franchise pillar or anything like that. And Franklin Arias, who's been rising up boards and is in the 50s, 60s, doesn't move people either because he's exactly what these new front offices don't get excited
Talking
over.
about people no one's ever heard of.
Well, these front offices have. They care
I
about
get
the
it,
prospects.
but like, okay, so
But they wanted
you're going to go
major
get a
league talent.
quality starting pitcher, be your number 2, and you're going to give up nothing for it.
They wanted a Jarren Duran. They wanted a Wilyer Abreu, and the Red Sox knew, especially post Marcelo Meyer injury, that was not plausible for them. And probably to them, putting a Peyton Tolley on the table was them getting uncomfortable. Guess what? It required 2 top 100 prospects to get Duran for the Phillies. Can you only imagine what it costs to get Joe Ryan, who's a top 15 pitcher in the entire sport? Good luck to you.
So everything that you just laid out there tells me, though, that in terms of communication with Craig Breslow, it wasn't there with the Twins.
And lack
right?
of feel.
On a different page with the organization that you're talking with. We hammered Craig Breslow for the lack of communication when it came to Rafael Devers and that whole situation. And I just think that it's showing up again in terms of this deal for Joe Ryan, where clearly the two organizations were on completely different pages.
The most disappointing part to me is if you're talking about the Twins, they were in the mood to sell. Okay, think about anything in your life when you're in the mood for it and somebody is offering you a chance to tap into that mood. How often does it not happen? They were in the mood to sell. All you had to do was feed the mood that they were in, and you would have thought they could have found a way to do that if they really wanted to get it done. The Twins were giving players away. They had to get rid of guys, and you still somehow got denied, even though they were in the mood for it.
Yeah, but if you're Breslow, wouldn't that dissuade you from giving something off of your major league roster? Looking at their fire sale, absolute fire sale that they had.
I think bigger picture, the fact that Breslow thought that this thing was really close to happening, and the Twins, meanwhile, think that what you're offering is a feeble attempt and that you're not close, according to Cotillo and Rosenthal. The communication between those two things is baffling to me, and it makes you kind of, quite honestly, like second guess where you're at with Craig Breslow in terms of his ability to do this job at the deadline, to get tunnel vision for a deal that one organization doesn't think is even in the ballpark of getting done. Is terrifying if that's the guy that's making big-time decisions for you. And clearly, you screwed up the deadline again because you didn't have that impact guy coming over.
Just get the deal done. I mean, it was there for you. They were selling guys. Get the deal done. Find a package that will work for them. That's the job. And he didn't do the job again.